Good morning, everyone. It's Daniel speaking, and this is our next Emotional English podcast, where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, filled with energy, and of course, positively. Another day, another Emotional English podcast. Welcome, everyone. It's time to study and learn English. Are you ready? Let's begin. Today we have another emotional English mini story. And why we have emotional mini story? Because mini stories are amazing for your personal learning activity. As more you listen, your English mini stories, as more you can remember, and just easy to memorize, okay? So that's the reason why you need to listen a lot of mini stories. They're kind of short, right? And it's easy to imagine, right? Because some people, they need to practice language with imagination. Imagination, it's when you close your eyes and you see the picture. You call it a picture in your mind. It's called your imagination. Some people, they have good imagination. Some people, they have bad imagination. When you have good imagination, you can easily see the picture in your mind when you close your eyes. When you have a bad imagination, it's a complete opposite, okay? Opposite means another side. So when you close your eyes and you see nothing, black screen. So bad imagination. You cannot imagine the picture. You cannot see the picture. Problem with imagination. So there are some people who do have great imagination. They close their eyes and they see the picture vividly. Another great word. Vividly means very clearly, okay? Clear. They see the picture in a good resolution. Resolution, it's a quality of a picture, right? So good resolution, good quality. Bad resolution, bad quality. By the way, talking of resolution, you have your monitors, right? And monitor has their own resolution, right? Some people have 1080p, some people have 720p. So it's a resolution. As higher the resolution is better the picture look like, okay? So, talking of mini story. So today we have a great mini story, and let's practice the mini story with me. As always, I read the mini story step by step, and then I ask you some questions related to our topic and vocab, which I see. And next, we go step by step. I can ask you random questions. And today, the mini story is not very big. So the name of the mini story, it's called A Wise Old Owl. A wise old owl. What does it mean, owl? It's O-W-L. It's an animal. It's a bird, okay? Old owl means very old, right? Experienced, elderly owl. And wise old owl means very experienced old owl, right? A lot of experience. The old owl lived life and saw a lot, okay? It means wise. You have a lot of experience. Let's imagine there are some people who had been living, okay, let's say this. They have been living with their wives for a long time, right? It means that they're very wise people. Let's say your grandpa has been living with grandma for 37 years, right? Or 45 years. Is he wise? Related to the topic of relationship, right? Relationships. Yes, he is. Because he has a lot of experience, right? Your grandpa has a lot of experience because he's a wise man. He has been living with your grandma for 45 years, okay? That's a lot, quite a lot. That's why you call wise people who do have experience, a lot of experience, right? That's the case. So, a wise old owl, okay? There was an old owl who lived in an oak tree. There was an old owl who lived in an oak tree. Okay. Every day he observed incidents that occurred around him. That's the first part. There was an old owl who lived in an oak tree, and every day he observed incidents that occurred around him. So there was a dog, there was a cat, or there was an owl. Yes, indeed, there was an owl, right? It was an old parrot or an old owl. An old owl indeed. So when you say indeed, it means of course. Of course, it was an old owl who lived in an oak tree. Danila? You? Or someone else? Or somebody else? Of course, it was an old owl who lived in an oak tree, right? So, do you remember what an old owl kinda were doing? Oh, okay. So, an old owl were observing incidents one day, another day. So, he observed a lot of incidents, right? Observed means had seen, right? Experienced, saw, observed, right? Observation, when you're looking at something, you're checking something, right? And observe, it's the verb, right? When you do and when you look at something, you're observing something. Let's imagine you see the mobile phone sitting on your table and the cup standing there close by somewhere, right? You see your keyboard or your computer. So this moment, this very moment, you are observing your part of your room, right? You're observing, you're looking at something, right? So in that day, who observed different incidents? All observed different incidents, right? And these incidents occurred around him or occurred around Russian politicians. Yes. So exactly. So every day, the all observed incidents, and these incidents, right, or those incidents occurred around him. Not about Russian politicians, not about around Vladimir Putin, not around me, right? So occurred around him, around an old owl, okay? So probably it was like this. An old owl sat in an oak tree, or we're sitting in an oak tree, right? And then he was observing things. He was like, what is going on here? What is going on there, right? So an old owl was observing different things around, right? And he observed different incidents, right? Different strange things happening, right? And that these incidents, those incidents occurred around him. Occurred in this case, it means occurred. It means happened, right? Happened around him. Occurred around him, right? So things were happening around him. Occurred around him. So he observed these or those incidents, right? And then what's happened next? Nobody knows yet, right? Because it's the next paragraph. So, yesterday, he watched as a young boy helped an old man carry a heavy basket. Today, he saw a young girl shouting at her mother. The more he saw, the less he spoke. Yesterday, he watched as a young boy helped an old man carry a heavy basket. Okay, my question to you. So, what did Anol see yesterday? Okay, Anol saw a young boy, right? Right. A young boy. So, what that boy were doing or was doing? Of course, the boy was helping someone, right? He was helping an old man. Who was helping an old man? An old owl was helping an old man, or the young boy was helping an old man? Young boy was helping an old man. So, and what about old all? What the all was doing, right? So, an all was watching. He was just sitting and observing, okay? Watching closely. So, and he was observing what? He was observing how the young boy was helping an old man. What he was observing? He was observing how the young boy was helping an old man carry a heavy basket. Okay? What is a heavy basket? Heavy basket is like a bag, right? And this bag is very heavy. Oh my God, so heavy. You cannot bear it so easily, okay? You need a lot of strength, power to take care of this basket. And that's why the young boy helped an old man carry a heavy basket. So it's happened yesterday. Today, our old owl saw a young girl shouting at her mother. What does it mean, shouting? Shouting means when you kind of scream very loud like this. Hey! Hey! Oh my God, what is happening with my voice? Yesterday I was feeling so bad, to be honest. My stomach was killing me. Probably I got the food poisoning again. Very bad feeling when your stomach is in pain and you cannot go anywhere. You cannot do anything. You're just laying in the bed and do nothing. Oh my God, that was terrible. Anyway, so let's go back. An old owl saw a young girl shouting at her mother like, "Mother! Hey!" Shout, 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 right? So she was shouting, right? Who was shouting? An old owl shouting to her mother or his mother, or young girl shouting at her mother. Yeah, you shout at someone, right? So the girl was shouting at her mother, of course. So did the girl shout at an old owl? No. Young girl was shouting at her mother. Why I want to say were all the time? Stupid grammar. Okay, so the more he saw, the less he spoke. The more he saw, the less he spoke. What does it mean? It means the more our old owl saw, the less. It means no speaking. The less he spoke. Less means absence. No. No, he didn't speak at all. The more he saw, the less he spoke. Okay? That is the second paragraph. Let me ask you something here. So, how many actions did all observe these or those days. 2 actions, right? The action number 1 happened when? According to the story, first action happened yesterday. What? What happened yesterday? The young boy helped an old man carry a heavy basket. Okay? And what happened next day? It means today, right? So today, our all saw a young girl. And what did she do? Or what were she doing? She was shouting. What was she doing? Why am I saying were again? Stupid grammar. So what was she doing? She was shouting. She was shouting at her cat. Like, stupid cat. Of course not. She was shouting at her mother. The more he saw, the less he spoke. So our all was speaking a lot, right? No. He was very silent. He was very quiet. He didn't say a word because the more he saw, the less he spoke, right? Paragraph number 3. As the days went on, he spoke less but heard more. The old all heard people talking and telling stories. Very simple, small paragraph. As the days went on, it means the day after day after day went on, right? As the days went on, we're going. He spoke less but heard more. It's actually the same. The more he saw, the less he spoke. He spoke less but heard more. He was listening more and more stories. He was observing more and more incidents, right, that occurred around him. And then the old all heard people talking and telling stories again and again. He saw many stories, okay? So tell me only one thing. So our beautiful old all was listening nothing, or he was listening a lot of new stories and news. Of course, he heard a lot. He heard so many stories, and he was speaking more, or he was speaking less. He was speaking less, okay? He was hearing more, but he was speaking less. So, next paragraph, number 4. So our old all heard a woman saying an elephant jumped over a fence. It's the story number 1. Then he heard a man saying that he had never made a mistake. Okay? So how many stories he heard of? He heard of at least 2 more stories, right? So what was the story number 1 is about or was about? The story number 1 was about an elephant who jumped over a Kremlin. No. Of course not jumped over a Kremlin. So an elephant jumped over a fence. Do you remember what is a fence? Can you use your imagination now? Okay, I'll help you with that, guys. Just close your eyes. Yes, right now. Close your eyes and imagine a house. Beautiful house. This house is not big. This house is not small. Somewhere in the middle, right? Beautiful house. Only 1 level house. It means not 2 level, not 3 level house. 1 level house. And around the house, you see a beautiful trees, right? Two beautiful trees. A lot of flowers around. And then something is surrounded the house, right? So something is surrounding the house. What is it? You can say, oh, it's like a wall, like a little small wooden wall. You call it a fence. you call it a fence. Small wall around the house, it's a fence, okay? Why people need a fence? To feel secure, probably. But you know what? Many people in America, they have no fence. It means the absence of fence. They have a lack of fence. They don't need a fence because they are feeling okay without a fence. But in Russia, people love very tall fans, right? They like to have tall fans. So at least people cannot see them sitting in the grass or somewhere on the grass or somewhere around the house. So I don't know why, but people dislike having no fence in Russia. So our people love to have a fence, big fence, right? Tall fence, high fence, okay? So the first story, our old owl heard a woman saying an elephant jumped over a fence. When you jump over something, it means that you kind of jumping and you jumping over something, from one side to another side of it, right? So you jumping over, right? You was standing in the place A and then you jump and you flying a little bit next and then you're kind of standing in the opposite side of a fence now, okay? It means jump over something. So you're jumping over and an elephant jumped over a fence. So the next story he heard, it was a man saying that he had never made a mistake. Okay. What was the second story about? The second story was about a man saying that he had never made a mistake. He had never made a mistake. Is it possible? I don't think so. All of us make mistakes, right? All of us can have a lot of mistakes, right? Even today I make so many grammar mistakes. I don't know why. It's just maybe bad sleep. Today I slept only 4 hours, 30 minutes. And I'm not scared of it because, again, it's my routine. It's my micro habit, which I'm practicing this month. If you're familiar with our previous podcast episode, you remember what is micro habit, right? So when you practice something, right, at least 1 month, 30 days without stop, right? And then you practice something else and more, and you evolve as a human being. You can change your life with that case. And and I have many mistakes. It's okay. You have a lot of mistakes. You make a lot of mistakes in life and it's completely fine. But you know what? Our old all had seen or had heard the man that had never made a mistake. I'm not buying it. I don't believe in that. So let's go next. Next, we have the last paragraph. Let's be ready for it. The old owl had seen and heard that happened to people. There were some who became better, some who became worse, but the old owl in the tree had become wiser each and every day. I will read this sentence by sentence now and discuss. The old owl had seen and heard what happened to people. So our old owl had seen and heard what happened to people. It means that an old owl experienced, observed, heard many stories and thoughts again. There were some who became better. So it means that he heard some stories about people who became better. And he heard some stories about the people who became worse. Okay, what is worse and what is better? It's two opposites, right? When something became better, you feel good about it. When something became worse, you feel bad about it, right? And there are some people who became better, some people who became worse. Even now, you can see some people, they are kind of practicing, some of them becoming better, right? Because They are practicing. And some of them, they do nothing. They sit, they're lazy, they're becoming worse, right? Because they're doing nothing. Oh my God, 1 second. My father is calling. Sorry. Why? I just switched on. I have this do not disturb mode on. Why? Sorry, guys. Okay. So I have the next thing. Okay. Where am I? So this call just came across my mind. So there were some who became better, right? Some of us becoming better. Some of us becoming worse. And to be honest, I hope that you become better day by day with your practice of English, of course. Okay. But the old owl in the tree had become wiser. Had become wiser. The old owl in the tree had become wiser each and every day. He had become wiser each and every day. It means one day passed, and then our owl is wiser now. Okay, another day passed, and then an old became or had become wiser again. Each and every day. Okay, getting smarter and smarter. It's a banal thing. When you do something, you have a chance to become better at this thing, right? When you do nothing, you become worse. All right, that's the whole story. I will read the whole story right after I ask you a couple questions. So, what things our old owl had heard even more? Of course, our old owl had heard and had seen different things happen to people, right? Some people, right, were becoming better. Some people became worse, right, or had become worse. But our old owl in the tree had become stupid. No, of course not. Our owl in the tree had become wiser, better than before, okay? Wiser, smarter, right? So our old owl was smart, was wise, and now he is wiser. Of course. So that's actually the last paragraph. Now I read this mini story fully from the beginning until the end, and then we discuss the moral of the story. Okay? Let's begin. So now just listen attentively. Try to revise the vocabulary which you had learned already, or you have learned, and then you'll be fine, okay? Have learned. Yeah. So why I make so many mistakes today? I don't know. Okay, so just revise what you have learned, okay? There was an old owl who lived in an oak tree. Every day he observed incidents that occurred around him. Yesterday he watched as a young boy helped an old man carry a heavy basket. Today he saw a young girl shouting at her mother. The more he saw, the less he spoke. As the days went on, he spoke less, but he heard more. The old owl heard people talking and telling stories. He heard a woman saying an elephant jumped over a fence. He heard a man saying that he had never made a mistake. The old owl had been seen and heard what happened to people. There were some who became better, some who became worse, but the old owl in the tree had become wiser each and every day. So this is the whole story. I think, or I hope you understood everything and you have no question related to new vocab. You can practice and retell the story on your own. Just right after the audio file, which you'll listen right now, or which you're listening right now. Just try to try to retell the story, okay? Try to say it with your own words. You don't need to memorize every single word here. Just try to use your own language and tell this story to someone, to your cat, to your dog, to your mother, to someone. So what is the moral of the story? What do you think? Yeah, of course, it's about observation and it's about how to be wise, okay? So the moral is pretty simple. Be more observant. Talk less and listen more. This will make us wise. I will read it again. Be more observant. It's the description of your personality. You're observant when you observe a lot, right? You contribute. You don't say you not contribute. You consume a lot, right? Consume a lot. Be more observant. It means not contribute, not create things, not say words. Do not say words. Just observe words. Observe events. Observe experience or experiences, stories, whatever. Be more observant. Talk less and listen more. So when we talk less and when we listen more, we have a big chance. We have a big chance to become very wise. Okay. So this action, right, or these actions will make us very wise, super wise. Okay. Think of it, guys. So that's enough for today. A lot love to you all. Thank you to being with us today with Emotional English Podcast. Please visit my website, www.danilabondarenko.ru. Visit my Emotional English account on Instagram and account on TikTok. So Instagram, it's @Bondarison. It's like, every email has this symbol @ It's like A, but with a lot of circles around, okay? So it's @ It's @ like a twist. A with twist, it's an @. You say Danila Bondarenko @gmail.com. It's my email address, for example, right? And this @ it's this in between of Gmail and your personal email address name, okay? And Gmail, it's just the provider of the service. .com, it's just the zone, right? Or commercial in this case. So RU, it means Russia, right? I don't know. EU, I think. What is Ukraine is UA, it's Ukraine. Never mind. So just many things can happen like that. But just memorize @Bondarison. It's my link to my Instagram page, and @Bondarison.English. It's my link to TikTok. So see you soon. See you next week and have an amazing time with your English classes. Be cool, be productive, be active with your English, be positive, be emotional. And so try to be wiser. Try to observe more things like our old all from the mini story, okay? Be beautiful, be amazing, be the best you can, right? The not the worst, but be the greatest. Okay, that is my suggestions to you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.